eBay reporting earnings. Ahead of that, I'm joined by S&P Capital IQ equity analyst Scott Kessler. Scott, we'll essentially be looking at eBay without PayPal. So what do you need to see in this report in terms of numbers?
Right, Rhonda. This is actually the first time since 2002 that folks have looked at eBay without PayPal. So it is kind of a momentous quarterly results and call, I think, that we're going to be looking at. So what are we looking for? I think it's really about two things. One is growth. If you look at eBay as it currently is constituted now, or previously the marketplace's operations, we really haven't seen much in the way of growth over the last couple of quarters. We think that largely has to do with the negative impacts related to currency, where we've seen the US dollar appreciate against the euro, against the yen, across a number of different foreign currencies. But that's actually significantly impaired eBay's growth profile. And so we want to see to what extent they're able to deliver growth even with the currency overhang, and in fact what a constant currency growth rate is going to be for Q3. I think secondarily, and you alluded to this, the company spun off PayPal, so we want an understanding as to what costs and expenses we previously were seeing were associated with PayPal and the spinoff, and then we want a sense of any leverage in the model. And what I mean by that is, okay, so now a lot of these costs and expenses have been removed. Are there benefits to eBay that we will see or into the future will benefit from in eBay's case?
And Scott, I guess the next question would be about e-commerce competition. Who does eBay have to worry about most? How does eBay drive that growth in, quite frankly, a tough market?
It's hard, Rhonda, honestly. I mean, for eBay, their touchstone over the last number of years had been the notion of growing at a rate greater than e-commerce. And then I think they look more closely across countries because different countries are experiencing different kinds of growth across e-commerce. And then they were really just trying to keep pace with the overall level of e-commerce. The implications are that over the last 5 to 10 years, eBay has actually lost, for the most part, we think, significant market share across a number of different geographies. What they really need to do is they need to face head-on Amazon, maybe on the high end, and then in terms of smaller niche companies, you know, you're talking about Etsy and a number of other, I'd say, more kind of specific niche, localized players. I think what's interesting is over the last couple of years, eBay's major push from a marketplace's perspective has been international. And two of the countries that they've made the most investments in and around are Brazil and Russia, two of the economies on the planet that are struggling most. Brazil has had some serious issues in terms of economic growth, perhaps an overhang related to the Olympics in part. And then Russia obviously has had so many problems related to the price of oil. These are mightily struggling economies, and eBay's commitment to and investments in these areas probably was not particularly well timed. And so that's obviously an issue that I think is going to be looming in the context of its results and its go-forward prospects.
Scott Kessler, S&P Capital IQ, thank you so much.
Thanks, Rhonda.
I'm Rhonda Schaffner for The Street.